Hey, what's going on, everybody? Just thought I'd say what's up, do a live. There's really, as far as content goes, with the band workouts and everything going on, and nowhere to really film, I can't really get into it. So we have the daily band workouts, and hopefully we're able to do some live Q&As to get that off our chest. I'd like to get back into podcasts, into some really awesome things, and hopefully we can start doing that when I move into my new house in about 6 weeks. About 6 weeks. So we're 6 weeks out. So with that said, we're just here. We're working. It's been really busy for us here at Tiger Fitness, MTS Nutrition Outright. So and Ambrosia. So I mean, it's actually been really busy. So I haven't had time to really um, do as many lives as I thought I would. I'll do them on Instagram every here and there at night and when I'm walking the dog, but nothing formal like this. We can answer some questions, get into it, maybe give you all a good 20 to 30 minutes of Q&A. My kids are out playing soccer, so I'm pretty much in a really good spot right now to be able to do this because I will not have an office again until my house is done. So I hope everything's going well. I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves, keeping your immune system strong, exercising, eating correctly. I just read a report today supplementing with vitamin D it helps with all, as far as the flu goes and everything. Make sure you're not deficient in vitamin D. Get plenty of sunlight. I like supplementing with 5,000. I use a vitamin D a day. Make sure you get your vitamin C, all that good stuff. All things that should come from your diet. But again, I can't encourage sunlight enough. You're in an area like we're in Nashville, Tennessee area. The sunlight's been amazing. I actually have a tan right now. Um, if you're in California, Florida, anywhere with sunlight, man, get as much sunlight as you can without getting burnt and getting skin cancer. But you know what I'm saying? Like, don't avoid that and be healthy. Be healthy. I also read another study today that I actually tweeted about that they're actually investigating nitric oxide boosters. So the same science that brought us Cialis, um, Viagra, those are all being studied as potential ways because nitric oxide can be used to either prevent or help fight this. They predict. So I believe they're trying those trials in Italy, believe it or not. I just tweeted the article. Um, interesting stuff. But with that said, let's get some Q&As, answer what you want to hear, not just ramble off about shit that interests me. Turkey beef or ground beef? What is turkey beef? You mean ground turkey? Well, I mean, honestly, beef is going to have a slightly higher vitamin, mineral, and all that count, but not enough to care about. I personally really like ground turkey, but my family prefers beef. I actually bought ground turkey because that's all Sprouts had when I went there this week. But I'd go by flavor, whichever one you like, because they're all about the same fat. The turkey I got was 85.15, because again, that's they have. Beef comes anywhere from 93.7. You can get 95.5 ground beef. It just depends on what you prefer, taste and flavor wise, because the macros again, 85.15 is 85.15, whatever the meat is. And I don't think the vitamin and mineral things, I don't think that's enough to really give a shit about. Big fan from Bosnia. What's going on, Vitali? How you doing? Steak versus lean ground beef. You know what? Honestly, they're both from meat. Also, what kind of steak? You have to realize there's ribeye. There's different quality cuts, fattiness of steak. So a ribeye has a completely different macronutrient content as sirloin. Also, you get many kinds of ground beef. For example, I went to a burger place once in Illinois, in Chicago area, where they actually used ground ribeye and they did it themselves. It was absolutely fucking amazing. But ribeye is very fatty. So what they did is they used some ground ribeye and then they used some ground pork, I believe it was. And they made this really delicious, decadent, fatty ass burger. But it was the juiciest thing you ever ate. But essentially, any beef can be ground. So they're both from cows, assuming they're cow steaks. So generally speaking, just I don't see much nutrient differences. Heavyweight or more volume with reps? Both. Honestly, I've been seeing, and also you gotta like, what is more volume? Like there's no baseline. Like you can do heavyweight and higher volume, right? You can do heavyweight and lower volume. My thing has always been you can have high volume and low intensity or medium intensity, but you can have and you can have lower volume and higher intensity, but you can have high intensity and high volume because you will never be able to maintain that intensity throughout a high volume workout. So it's kind of a, give and take. But in my opinion, the reason I've been getting such phenomenal results with the band training is that I'm not using 500-pound squats or deadlifts. I'm actually working the muscle through a given rep range, and I'm really focusing on the squeeze. And I've actually made significant progress since the lockdown doing the band only workouts. Joe Exotic, we have a shirt coming out that'll make you laugh. I have a training partner, so is Dorian Yates hit good for mass? Generally speaking, I've done Dorian. I have articles on Dorian Yates training. I've trained with Dorian. I personally think, and this is my personal opinion, the injury risk for most individuals during doing a Dorian style training is too high. I also think most of you guys, including myself, probably don't have the level of intensity that Dorian has to truly optimize that training. So I am actually not going to recommend that to 99.9% of trainers, the Dorian Yates style. Fitness start doing unsupported one-arm dumbbell rows. Good shit. How's Tennessee? Tennessee is the most amazing place on earth. My wife and I go for a walk every day after dinner. And every night she wants me to shut the fuck up because I keep talking about how happy I am to be in Tennessee. Love it here. Will trenbolone lower immune system? Asking for a friend. You know what? I have no idea. And I don't believe there's any studies directly testing trenbolone and immune function. I will say this, if anadrol, which it works by increasing your RBC or red blood cell count, theoretically anadrol would increase your immunity, but I would just wash your hands and keep your social distance and not worry about trenbolone enhancing or doing anything to your immune system. You need to sell your bars at the truck stops. I absolutely agree. Unfortunately, I can't just sell them at the truck stops. I can't set up a pop-up tent, the Flying J, and do it. They have to pick it up through their distribution channels, and right now, Flying J doesn't give a flying fuck about me. What's up, brother? Your Fute cereal and chocolate chip machine way are fire. Love it, brother. Dude, I am so happy that we nailed those flavors. It gives me opportunity to get rid of some slacking flavors as far as sales go. And also, it's kind of revitalized our protein line. And our sales are up dramatically in the shutdown because we are an essential business. And we do provide something. And our shipping is faster than Amazon right now, by far. We're beating Amazon by literally days. Like our average shipment takes 1 to 2 days, sometimes 3. Amazon's anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks out, unless you're buying like really, really essential stuff, right? Like, but our stuff gets there. Generally, MTS stuff is pretty fast because people need food, people need outright bars because they're a non-perishable good. Just as much as anything else. Like, how can you consider that a food? Well, because how can you consider a granola bar food? It's food. It's food. And whey protein is amazing because it has a 2-year shelf life and it's non-perishable. It's great. I'm an EMT and I just got a COVID patient. This scary man stays safe. I need you. Yeah, good news about COVID. There's a lot of bad news. The good news is the recovery rate's pretty high. Some people get it really bad. Some get it barely at all. It's not good at all, and it's not just the flu. However, it's going to be something we live with as a society for quite a long time. You guys think that if end of the month, or even if we went back to work in November, which the economy would die well before then, they can't wait till August to open up the economy. They just can't. It's not possible. We're still going to have COVID out there. So what we need to do is, I've posted many times, what I do with face cut. Let me show you guys what I do. So I take this when I go out and I make a little mask out of it. And this is something that I've been doing since, excuse me, my earpiece fell out. This is something I've been doing since, well, look at my eye, since this whole thing broke down. And, but the CDC and the WHO, those idiots, they're like, oh, well, face masks don't work. But then I read a study, a credible study, showing that face masks are 70% as effective as the really good masks. And while what I'm doing isn't 100% effective, I can get those masks. I got hookups just about anywhere. And I could also get them from China, believe it or not. I have Chinese suppliers who could send them to me. But I'm like, let's save those masks for people on the front lines who need it. And I'm going to Kroger. Like, I'm just going to cover my shit with this fucking headband. Turns out the people who make this brand, it's called Junk Brands. They actually have shut down most of their facility, if not all of it. I'm not mistaken. Okay, they shut down their whole facility, and they've converted to making face masks just like this. So I'd like to say, even though I'm not one of those let's shut down the world guys, I do understand there's a fucking pandemic. Look, that's the thing is that you can't be in the middle, right? You have to be either it's the we need to shut down the economy, kill everything, or you have to be like, oh, it's just the flu. I'm none of that. I believe this shit is fucking real. I believe it's fucking real and it's bad. How bad? It depends what chart you read. The what do they call it? The models have been so fucking far off, and that's the problem. We're having trouble getting real data because it's in real time. We'll look back 2 years from now, we'll have real data, but good luck getting real data in real time. It's impossible. So everybody's like, "Oh no, the Fauci guy or whatever the fuck his name is, he's a liar." I'm like, "No, no, no. He's a scientist. He's trying his best to read a real time chart, and Trump's doing his best to get advice from these people because she doesn't want blood on his hands. He has an election to win. So you know, it's just no one can have a middle of the road. My opinion is this fucking shit sucks, but we can't continue to shut down the economy. We need to find a fucking way. Whether it's give everybody masks, ramp up production of those, which we're doing, whether it's we have mandatory social distancing, I don't fucking know. I'm not an expert at that, but we can't go on with everybody sitting at home losing everything, and the government can't keep sending $1,200 checks and pretending that that's going to pay for anything. So that's why I respect everybody's point of view. The people who say stay at home, all I ask is that they have empathy for those who've lost everything and are desperate. Same with the people who are staying at home who just want to go work. Have empathy for those who've lost loved ones to this disease. And that's the problem with America. No one can look at things objectively because we all belong to a political party, or we all have these preset notions, orange man bad, Pelosi's a witch, Hillary Clinton kills people. Okay, the third one's kind of correct. Um, it is what it is. Isn't Davidson County one of the worst ones? Yeah, Davidson is, but it also has the biggest, most population density. So I think that would be expected. That would be expected. I'm not in Davidson County though. I'm Williamson. We're not bad. I mean, all things considered, the amount of people here, it's not bad. It's not good, but it's not New York. Let's see. Going on. How do you feel about supplementing with glutathione? I've heard a lot of people do it. There's Cammy. Can't go train.
Yeah, we're running another mile.
Another mile.
Yeah. We're doing some stuff.
Working out first thing in the AM, fasted or snack. I can't train empty stomach. I just fucking can't. I'm from Chicago. Where was it? Where was what? I have no idea what this is pertaining to. A friend just freaked out because of a chemical warning and out. Okay. I encourage you to go to MCS website, scroll all the way down, look at Prop 65. Basically, it's a way for them to sue people for things, essentially. Notice how it says in the state of California. And let's just say that we did get sued, and it is what it is. Even though our levels are very safe and acceptable, naturally occurring, it's not like we're dropping lead in it. Peanuts and everything have naturally occurring minerals and everything. And so you have lead and you have other things that are naturally occurring in different foods. And they set the level below what the natural occurring mark is. Every supplement, every food you buy, your TV, your furniture, it will all have Prop 65 warnings if they're sold in California, or they could pay a fine. Here's how you know it's not real. Because one company, literally, I'm not going to say who it was within our industry, paid a $6 million tax to not have to put the warning on, even though the levels are higher. It's a cash grab by the state of California. It's unfortunate, but to sell in the state of California, to avoid getting more lawsuits, I had to put that on my label. Awesome, isn't it? High volume is my middle name. Okay, that's a good middle name. How do you avoid feeling jittery and working out faster? Well, I mean, watch your stimulant intake and get in better shape, maybe. Can body weight dips alone build good triceps? You're not really overloading. So I'm going to say it can build triceps, but good is a relative term. So I don't know how to answer that. Have you seen the X3 bar? It's a band attached to a bar and platform. I would just go and spend as little money as possible and get some bands. That's my opinion. What do you think of push-pull legs? I'm not a fan. I like body part. Not because I don't think it works, just because I really don't like doing more than one body part in a day. How does your body know the difference between a push-up if my body weight versus a bench of equal weight? Difference is progressive overload. On the bench press, you can add weight. On the push-up, you can't. That's why if you've been watching my band training series, you'll notice that I add my bands to my push-ups. I train chest with shoulders and back and arms the day after. Is that optimal for gains? If you enjoy it and you can adhere to it for a long period of time, it's optimal. Tiger Fitness sells Dianable. We might have a brand that sells a product called Dianable. We don't sell actual Depot. We're kind of a legal like supplement company, a large one, and we don't sell illegal steroids. But been doing your band workouts. Thank you. Trying to stay positive due to not going to work every day and not feeling safe in my work environment. Oh, due to going to work. Well, yeah, well, it is what it is. Steady state cardio just as viable as running. Running, well, are you talking sprints or jogging? Because what and viable for what? Are you trying to be a professional basketball player or are you trying to lose fat? I am not in either of those counties. I'm in Williamson. Outdoor workout with cinder block. Suggested variety of lifts. Nope. I do bands, bro. I don't know what the fuck I do with a cinder block. I'd probably put the cinder block somewhere in my garage or something and find some bands. I'm taking Anadrol 75 milligrams a day. I'm leaning out big time. I thought it'll blow me up. Okay. Appreciate the information, brother. Hope you and the family continue to stay healthy. Well, thank you. I took cycle for 2 years. Then after losing in a competition, I took a hard hit. Lost motivation to do my PCT. It was 4 years ago. My natural testosterone half of average. What can I do? See a doctor immediately. Rome, I'm in steroids, LOL, test, and Anadrol. Obviously, we're not having a literacy portion of this program. Isn't Davidson? I already read that one. Pelosi is a witch, though. Yeah, I mean, you can argue she might not be an actual witch. I'm in East Tennessee, and it's not that bad yet. Honestly, here's the thing, and I'm not by any means saying it's a flu, but we get a lot of things killing a lot of fuckers a year, man. Like, I didn't know the flu was so much of a bitch. Like, I'm killing tens of thousands of people a year. How do I get rid of stubborn body fat? Diet and exercise. I don't think it's the state's problem that people get infected locally because the lockdown was in place. Still, people went out. I don't think government is in debt, especially Trump is. I have no idea what the hell that means. No, I'm absolutely against the use of DNP. Just diet harder. Trump did good because he reacted very quick, and he can't help if people don't listen. Well, I mean, we are a free country, so you can only lock people down so much. The freedom isn't there's a give and take to freedom. And one of the takes is that you can't just tell people to stay the fuck in their house. It's just it's not constitutional. I can argue that this whole stay-at-home thing is not constitutional. Marc going to NYC to work in the hospital as a nurse. Weird question, but do you ship to hotels? We ship everywhere, bro. Yep. And if you haven't, one thing you could do as well is just call in the order, and they'll make sure it gets done right. So you could call in to our 877 number, talk to Trey, Lacey, or Gabby, and they'll hook you up. Are you investing in crypto, bro? No, that's not my investment style. I'm not saying it's not a good way to invest. I'm saying that's not the way I do things. I recently found out I can't have dairy, even whey isolate. I love the vegan outright bars that are out now. Any other vegan options? We have 3 vegan outright bars. I have no plans on coming out with anything almond butter because they don't sell very well. So I'm gonna come out with shit people want, and generally you can tell that by sales. I think buy a new car in California. The cars even have Prop 65. California's a shithole. That's all I'll say. Notice how no other states like doing that, right? It's just a racket. DC training, yay or nay? I don't know enough about it, but what I know about it, nay. For me, for you, you could try it, see what it does for you. Well, I've lost weight using Clenbuterol. Oh God, more drug stuff. Hey Marc, hope you and the family are doing okay. You as well. What happened to you and Tony Huge? Nothing. Did something happen to us? As far as I know, we're on good terms. Not sure. Not sure. It's not like we hung out. Like we know of each other and we've met at trade shows, but like he's not like my boy. You know what I mean? He's not like my dude. He's a good. I like him, but he's not my dude. Is it me or is anybody else having trouble staying focused while working out at home? I'm fine when I work out at home. I'm good. Like, and who gives a fuck about being focused? Just do your job. Just do it. If you heard the 5G conspiracy surrounding her, yeah, I have. I've heard the 5G conspiracy, and I don't believe the 5G is doing that. But again, I'm not an expert at that. Do you ship to South Africa? Yes, we do. Hey, Mark, would you ever team up with Jeff Cavalier for a video? Um, I honestly, I know he has a huge following, but like, I don't really care about collaborations on YouTube. I put out my stuff, and if people watch it, they watch it. As it is, it takes up too much of my time. It takes up about an hour a day. Well, I mean, I'm training anyway, but the setup, I don't really. It takes up, let's say, 2 hours a day, and honestly, I have so much going on. I don't see. I'm not after it now. I would love. I mean, Jeff's a cool guy. It'd be great to hang out with him, but I mean, dude, I have enough people to hang out with as my family, and I'm practicing social distancing anyway, right? Any chance he'll come back to the high V's in Iowa? Right now, until again, like I don't see me going out actively doing any store events. Even if this thing gets cleared up till later this year, I'm gonna stay my ass right here in Tennessee unless I'm going to something for my kids. What do you think of Skip Hill calling out your coach on the BSG podcast? I didn't know. I have no clue who Skip Hill is. And maybe that's just me not giving a fuck about what goes on in that industry. You know, I coach my clients, and they're mostly non-industry people. And my clients are lifestyle, marklobliner.com. I don't really give a fuck about these prep coaches. I don't care about the drama. I don't care about who's giving people what. Like, I've been off of Instagram and looking at all this bullshit. We have so much going on in the world right now. Like, I'm worried about getting my company through this in a better position they were than when we started it. I'm worried about a lot of things. I'm worried about supplying my vendors. I'm worried about making sure my mint outright bar, mint cookies and cream outright bar, we just launched at the Vitamin Shop. It's arriving at the locations this week. I'm worried about that. I'm worried about my family. I'm worried about my kids going back to school. I can give a fuck about this, whoever this Skip guy is. Um, yeah, I just don't care. So these current events, unless it's about the world and stuff that actually matters, I don't know who Skip Hill is. So I'd have to Google who he is, and then I'd have to figure out what was said. Why do I prefer the bro split? I just really like hitting. By the time I truly hit one body part, I have no energy to hit the other one. I bought. He bought all your products and spoke good about you, but spoke bad about him in a previous video. No, I've never spoke bad about him. I just don't. I don't think the advice he gives is the advice. And I've said this many, many times. The advice he gives is irresponsible, in my opinion. I've said that to his face. Um, so there's nothing between us, but that's the beauty of being a human being in America, at least for now, until the Gestapo take over, I guess. I think we're near there now. Is you could disagree with someone and still have a beer with them at the end of the day, and that's what makes our country so great. But I mean, everybody just wants to see drama. I don't give a fuck. Like, I really don't care what people take. I don't care about. I just want to take care of my people, myself, and help people reach their goals, and that's it. Yeah, collabs were 2002, 12 to 2015. I think it's just every man for himself. And honestly, there's not enough money in YouTube anymore to really collaborate. With the algorithm going down and the payment going down, it just doesn't make sense. California's ground zero for political rights, making sure everyone and everything is labeled as something. Welcome to Tennessee. Yeah, I love it here. I love it here. Uh, do you think the current use of bans will continue to grow post quarantine? Yeah, I think people are going to realize they can get just as much results. And in the summer, they could take that shit outside and have a beautiful workout in the sunshine and get a tan while they're at it, and enjoy birds chirping and fucking trees. It's great. Do you miss gymming these days? I can honestly say I really don't. I miss the sauna, but I'm gonna have that in my house in the next couple of months. So I'm not really missing it much. Mark, I know you don't know me, brother, but I've been a sub for years. Watching your fan has really helped me become better. Thank you so much. I love the new fruit cereal MTS way. Thank you. What are your suggestions for lack of erections while on TRT? Is your girlfriend ugly? No, I'm just playing. Just playing. I would talk to your doctor if you're truly on TRT. Your doctor, and what are you taking? Are you taking DECA? Because if DECA is a part of your TRT, that affected me and Katie very greatly. It was a one time, 2 time thing. But thank God we got that. Let's just say I'm not really a fan of this stuff. You give one piece of advice to someone training over 40, what would you be? Stop using 40. Stop saying that word. Train. Just fucking train. No excuses. Just get in there and have fun. How do you know if you have Mr. Olympia genetics at age 16? Well, I don't think you'll know if you have Mr. Olympia genetics until you're in your 30s, unless you're like Dallas McCarver. Here's the deal. At 16, I don't think anyone should aspire to be a professional bodybuilder. I think you should aspire to be in school, playing sports, and if weightlifting is your sport, that's great, and having fun and being a kid. Um, Bodybuilding is an extremely taxing sport. It's an extremely low paying sport. So what I would do is I would focus on your career because bodybuilding is not going to pay your bills. So if you think it's going to pay your bills, you've been sadly misled. Um, so what I and a pro card means nothing anymore. For classic physique, and I'm just coming from someone with a pro card. Classic physique, they were literally handing out pro cards like fucking fucking beads at Mardi Gras. They're like, hey, here's a pro card, here's a pro card. I think that it kind of lost its luster. I don't think, and any pro bodybuilder will tell you this exact same story. Any of them. You know what? Go talk to Nick's World Class. Nick Trigili. Go talk to John Meadows. Go talk to Steve Kukla. Go talk to Brandon Curry. They'll tell you the same thing. Focus on what you can achieve. Focus on your career. Focus on your job. Focus on getting out there. Realize being a pro bodybuilder, unless you're Mr. Olympia, you can literally do that shit in an hour and a half a day. So for me, that's just regular exercise, but with more focus. Like if I was just a mainstream guy, not worried about gains, I would mix shit up. One day I'd go on a hike. The next day I'd go and I'd bike ride. And then maybe I'd hit a full body circuit, just stay in shape, exercise if I wasn't a bodybuilder. So the only difference is instead of doing all that shit, you're just weight training in your free time. But you should be getting that exercise anyway. And at 16, I hope you're not already going the drug route. Because if nobody told you to be a pro bodybuilder, Mr. Olympia, you're going to be on drugs. So I think people need to be more clear about that. So you can make an honest decision and not waste your time thinking you're going to be something you're not. Like I always tell this story, and I know people are sick of hearing it. You've heard it. I was one of the tallest kids in 8th grade. I was the starting center on the basketball team. I would train basketball 4 hours a day, and I thought I was going to the NBA. I never grew an inch after 8th grade. The same fucking height as I was in 8th grade. So what I'm saying is sometimes dreams and reality don't always match up. What's up from Alberta, Canada? Any word on a 420 pre-workout? I have Clash. What's in that shaker bottle? Machine fuel. I sip it all day. My left leg fall off, but was reattached using MTS. It sounds legit. Anyone here experience uneven muscle size? A lot of people do because we're not all symmetrical. The body also, if you're right-handed versus left-handed, your planting foot, your striking foot, whatever you do as a sport, it'll dictate. Like I'll guarantee you, if I was to measure it, my daughter's right leg would be bigger than her left leg because she's right leg dominant in soccer, even though she could use both of them pretty proficiently. But if she's going to go from a midfield strike, she's going to hit it with her right foot. So that's her strong foot, and that's going to probably be bigger. So nobody here is completely symmetrical. Thoughts on peptides? If prescribed by your doctor under their discretion. But you realize when you say thoughts on peptides, that's like thoughts on soda. It's like there's a lot of there's a lot of soda out there, right? There's Pepsi, there's Coke, there's RC. It's like there's a lot of peptides out there, and honestly, I'm not the guy to ask because I don't know a lot of that shit. Peter Schiff says depression, not recession. Thoughts? Right now it's a recession. Although it's not technically a recession is technically 2 straight quarters of negative GDP. But I'll say yes, recession. So we're talking about severity in this case. It's not necessarily by definition. Whereas recession is okay, fine, it's fucked up, we'll get it back, no big deal. A depression is more dire. A horrible, horrible situation. I believe that if we are to open up the economy between the 15th of April and let's say the 5th of May, somewhere in that time frame, that it would be more of a recession because I think we'd bounce back pretty quick. However, if it goes much beyond May 1st, the economy is going to be completely fucked for a long, long time. So that's my opinion based on being a businessman. It's weird that my left pec is bigger than my right, but I'm right dominant. No, not really. I mean, God does weird things and puts us together, right? Oh, the atheists are going to come out now. Any advice you would give to friends you see on social media drinking alcohol more often during these times rather than working on being healthy? I'd honestly, and I mean this from my mind your own fucking business. Like, it's their thing. Maybe they just like drinking. Also, drinking's never good. There's always bugs out there, man. There's always flus. There's always viruses out there. You got 60,000 people dying of the flu in the US every year. You got 2 million plus people dying of malaria in the world every year. Malaria. And you're worried about this. You're just being that guy who calls his neighbors because they went for a walk and they're supposed to be shut down. Just mind your own business. Let them drink and have fun. It's their body, their choice, right? Used to cycle and competed for 4 years, and went away to the gym for a while and been back for a year. Strong natural, want to cycle. Talk to your daughter. Talk to your doctor. How common do you think synthol use in bodybuilding is? I don't think it's as common as it was back in the late 90s. Personally, I don't know many, and I know a lot of shitty bodybuilders who use that stuff, right? Like a lot of really bodybuilders you wouldn't even guess are using it because they look so bad. But the bodybuilders I know who are professional and do very well, they don't. They don't. I used to be a former gymnast. I'm 27. It's more than 8 years. You think it's a good idea to go hard to get back into shape? Well, I mean, into gymnastics, I would think you'd want to ease back in. Obesity kills more people than smoking does. Complications from obesity, yes. But what's your point? Any tips on how to program for hockey players? More specifically, I'm a goalie and run a West Side conjugate split, but not sure how. Well, I mean, it depends what you mean where you're at right now in your programming. But I like to see a lot of strength work along with a lot of injury prevention work. And as a goalie, I'm going to be working on a lot of reaction. So, how I would program would depend on that athlete, and it would depend on their individual strengths and weaknesses, such as acceleration, absolute speed, et cetera, et cetera. Can muscle fool up the glycogen with fats without carbs, considering the liver it's empty? I have no idea what that means. Any plans to ever pass through Columbia SC to Spuds? If you haven't noticed, there's kind of a pandemic going around, and gyms are kind of closed. But no, I have no intention of traveling to South Carolina. When do you expect gyms to open back up? I mean, it depends on your state, and it depends on what happens. Right now, it looks like we're stuck without gyms till at least April 30th. However, for some states like California, Illinois, and New York, I wouldn't be surprised if those gyms aren't shut down until September. Is HGH more dangerous than people think, causing diabetes? No. Does eating clean and drinking around 5 liters of water every day make you electrolyte deficient? That's why I always recommend putting Naturalite or some other form of electrolytes, even salting your food. I always recommend that. Too many people monitor their sodium and minimize it when we actually want to do the opposite. Anyway, guys, I got to get back to work. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you guys later.